Well, hello and good evening. It's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. My name is Joy Ruffen, and I'm coming to you from the Sunshine State, Florida. And our guest tonight, Rosalind Jones, is in the Sunshine State as well. Our guest tonight is a phenomenal lady. She's going to be sharing with you a lot about what she's doing, why she's doing it, and how. But before she comes up, I want to share with you a little bit about Roz. She's very much so an innovative leader in the healthcare industry. She lives in Jacksonville and she was voted the best caregiver in Jacksonville, which is pretty much what she's doing. But she's got lots of other things going as well, which she'll share with you. She's very much involved with women's social issues. She's a public speaker. I just discovered, I don't know how it went by, that she's also a minister, and so is her husband. She is involved in public speaking, does a lot of that, and is just a Renaissance woman. And she doesn't know this, but I'm going to tell. She also makes jewelry. I've seen some of it. It's absolutely exquisite. So I'm going to say to you, help me welcome Roz to the show. Rosalind, hello and welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into your community tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I could hardly wait to get you here, Roz, because I said earlier, when you and I met, we had this chemistry. And I think we both had an understanding and a connecting because we're both about supporting and inspiring women and supporting women. And then when I discovered that you were into healthcare, I said, wow, let's go. So tonight, share with us a little bit about your healthcare industry. And then we're going to go to the topic that you brought to my attention, which I love, which is we are stronger together. But before we get there, tell us a little bit about your healthcare background and what you're doing now.
My healthcare background, I have more than 20 years of experience combined. I used to work for a large healthcare industry business leader here, and I was the technical writer. And then also, I accidentally fell into caregiving. A friend of mine in church was single. Her husband had died. She had no children, and she asked me to be a caregiver. And 2 days turned into 2 weeks, turned into a career. So I went from corporate to caregiver probably in less than a year. So I
You
gave up
know,
my corporate job and decided to be a caregiver.
you know what I love about that story? Because sometimes whatever plans we have, there are other plans in place for us. And it seems like that's exactly what happened to you. Is that not so?
Exactly. I had no intention of ever being in caregiving, and my road was corporate. It definitely, I was on the road to corporate, but I'm happier here as a caregiver.
Hmm. I have seen some of your videos, and I know that you're very much into getting all people, especially women, to be aware of how they must take care of themselves
Mhm.
and do all the legal stuff. So speak a little bit about that before we get to We Are Stronger Together.
One of my goals is that I want women to be able to do self-care, balance their lives. Self-care, take care of their family, take care of themselves, and if they are a caregiver, to be able to take care of their loved one, but not feel guilty about also taking care of themselves. Along with taking care of your loved one, it is important to have all of your documentation in order. Your healthcare surrogate, your do not resuscitate power of attorney, living will, all of this is so important. We spend more time planning for our retirement, Social Security, getting all that paperwork together. But this paperwork is just as important, if not more, sometimes than your retirement.
I like that. I like that for several reasons because you nailed it for so many. How many stories do we hear about the husband passing away and the wife is left without really knowing about the financial end of the relationship and so on. So I applaud you for doing that. God knows we all need it, because it's just been a given that the majority of men do this. And yet we as women, I include myself, guilty, need to learn more about how to handle finance. Let me just say here before we go any further, Ross, hello to all of these wonderful angels out here who are watching us. Thank you for showing up and for being here. We're grateful to see you. I see one of your friends is here. Marcy, is it a White Biz?
Yeah,
Is that her name?
Yeah, Marcia. It's pronounced Marcia White Biz. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
She says hello and hello and hello and hello and welcome. Good to see you, Marcy. And I have to say to everyone who shows up here, because we know and understand the time factor, that we appreciate your being here. It's really good to see you here. Now, let's get on. I know that healthcare is what you're doing, and you do it superbly. That's a given. But you wanted to talk tonight about we are stronger together. I love that, because we as women, not only women, you mean this overall across the board. Share with us why you came to that title and what you want to speak about.
And the reason why I say we have to work together as a community is because where you are weak, I am strong. Where I am strong, you are weak. And as a community, we can fill that gap. No problem is too little to be addressed. And that's one thing I want people to understand. You should not be afraid to ask for help. Whatever the problem is, whatever the gap is, wherever you weak are, someone in your community should either have the information or the resource to be able to handle, to bring a resolution to the solution.
I like that. You know why, Roz? Because at this wonderful time in my life, happy to say that I'm a happy senior, but it took me a long time to get here. And Roz, I used to be so afraid to ask for help for anything, because ingrained in my noodle, the brain, was the word, you know, what starts with an S, stupid. And now I know that we're all so far removed from that.
Oh, absolutely.
That the bravest and the most courageous thing that you can do is to ask for help. People want to help, so ask for help.
And you know what? Sometimes the people that want to help you are right there, and you don't even ask. They want to do something for you, and you don't say anything. I had a friend recently in Rhode Island. His daughter was in a car accident, and he said, I reached out and asked for help, and the lady said, I've been waiting for you to call me.
That addresses exactly what I said. And
exactly
your point about when you want to ask for help, if you really stand up and think and close, wherever and whoever you need to ask is right there in your circle. And that brings me, Roz, I love this. This brings me to this question. You said, be intentional when selecting your circle. Well, when I read that, it resonated to the marrow of my bones, because I know that now. I know that for sure. Speak to that a little bit. Be intentional when selecting your circle, your tribe, your family.
When you're selecting your circle, I was once told, if you are the smartest person in your circle, then you don't need the rest of the people around you. Everybody in your circle should know something a little more than you. Everybody in your circle should know something more than you, and they should be able to help you in the area where you're weak. Everyone in your circle is not in your corner. Everyone that is in your circle is not in your corner. So you have to be careful who you pick, who you allow in each layer of your circle. Because just like it's written in that wonderful book, there's an outer court, there's an inner court, and then there's the Holy of Holies. So there's 3 levels.
I like that.
And, you know, the closer you allow someone to get into your life, they should be able to help you in areas that the people on the outer areas may not be able to help you. But whatever layer or whatever season they come in to help you, you should be able to say, I can have, even you should be able to say, if I call Joy today, but I don't talk to her for 6 months, I know that I still can depend on her. You don't have to have daily contact with everybody in your circle. Some people get offended when you don't have daily contact. It's not required.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your presence is more important than your words.
Oh, I love that. Roz, I love that. That just whew, that says a lot. And here's
It
something.
does.
It's so powerful because I like what you said about your circle and rise, elevate. Because if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to escalate upward. And don't be afraid, which so many people are, of being around people who, because no one is really smarter. They might have had more advantages, they might have had
Mhm.
more opportunities, but your brain is working too. So get around people who are going to motivate, inspire, and enlighten you. You're saying that. And I love that about sometimes their presence is all that's needed and the remembrance of what that is. I love that. Now, how did you how did you come to this realization? Was that something that you've always known, or did something occur or happen in your life that brought you to this? Because so many people think that you have to be 24/7 with and near your best friend. But I have a best friend that I've had for a lifetime that I don't see maybe 2 or 3 years, but when I call her, it's like we were just together yesterday. So what does that mean?
That means that the people that you have put into your circle realize that you have boundaries and they have boundaries.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's important to set boundaries.
Yeah. Because
I
it's,
don't,
I'm sorry.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the boundary thing might be what throws people off because maybe they're not in sync enough with that person to understand the boundaries that are required for that relationship. Because a relationship,
And
mhm.
I'm sorry,
No,
in
no,
a
go ahead.
relationship, in in any relationship, just like in a corporate relationship or in a business relationship, boundaries are set. Even in a job, boundaries are set. You work 9 to 5. You have a 15-minute break. You have a 1 hour lunch break. Boundaries are set. And in any relationship, even in the relationships that I have now, okay, I work this much time, but I'm going home. I need time to myself. I don't talk. I have like you said, I have a great girlfriend that I don't even talk to sometimes for months. But
Hmm.
like you said, when we get back together, it's like we've never lost time.
That
You have to pick the right people in your life that, if you're a needy person,
ah
then sometimes you have needy friends and you have friends that are not needy to kind of balance it. Uh, but
yeah.
but I'm not that kind of person. I'm not needy. I don't have to have you every day.
Well, you just spoke to something that's again powerful because the needy person, we were all at one point in time, but then as we evolve and grow and we get into our personal development, personal growth, which everybody needs, I don't care when, where, and what, once you get really deep into it, you get away from that needy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because after you're around a person for too much, too long, too if it's too lengthy, you say, no, 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 I don't think so. And you gingerly say goodbye because you don't want to be around for any length of time someone who's too needy because I don't like this word, but it drains your energy.
It does.
And that's
It takes away from you. It does. It takes away from you. It takes away from time. You lose time. You lose action. You lose thought. You lose money. It's a lot of things that are lost when you have those type of people in your life all the time, because then the focus is on them and you lose focus on yourself. You don't invest in yourself. You don't rest. You don't find time to do wonderful interviews like this with you, because I would be taking care of someone else's needs and not taking care of my own. And so, you have to make that decision.
I know. I love that. I love that. You know why? You lead me right to where I want to go. Because when you become overwhelmed, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to take the time that we all need to take care of ourselves. It's not being selfish when you do that. I see here that you say we all need that self-care day. Speak a little bit more about that because that is so important. You need the time to replenish and to nourish yourself.
Exactly. I talk about this all the time with caregiving. You've seen me out on Saturdays,
Yes.
getting a facial, getting a pedicure. You see me out walking. I've committed to try to get 11,000 steps in a day. You have to take care of yourself. When your health increases, your wealth increases. And your wealth could be your blood pressure could get better, your thinking could be better, your resting could be better. So when your health increases, your wealth, and so many things that are involved in wealth other than money. But self-care, yes, self-care is so important for a caregiver. And even if you're not a caregiver, self-care is mandatory. Go ahead, Joy. I see something burning on your lips.
I get so excited, Roz. I can't help it because, and this is why you mentioned one of my favorite pet peeve words, and that's wealth. When it comes to wealth, the majority of people think money. That's wealth,
Mhm.
but that's not the wealth. That's the best wealth. If you don't have your health, that's why I'm thinking health care, starting with you, take care of you the best that you can. There's no wealth in the world that's better than. How many people do you know? I know a few with lots of money and they're not healthy. They're not well. They never took care of themselves. So
Exactly.
that's why I love this self care day that you mentioned. You can see me. And the other thing to speak to there is that when it comes to the possibilities of looking after you, whatever works
Mhm.
best for you, you have to find out. Well, this is true about any and everything in life, but what do you really enjoy doing the most? I love how you started here when you said that you fell into healthcare by accident because it was not your intention. That was not where you were planning to go. And that speaks a lot about just keep moving and keep going and be involved with any, every, and all things. And then that leads me to family and community. I know that you're very much involved in the community, your ministry and your husband's and all of that, because family and community, they go in that order, family and then community. So speak a little bit
Community.
about what you're doing and how you got involved with working in your community.
Always since we were little, working in community, it's been instilled in me through legacy from my grandparents, from my mother. My grandparents were a part of the civil rights. My mother and them also were part of civil rights. They marched. They were arrested, all types of things. And so I come from a legacy of civil rights and community, being a part of the NAACP, being a part of cancer walks. My mother is a cancer survivor, diabetes, all of this. I've always been a part of the community. We could not even live in our home and not be a part of community, doing something for the community always, always, even in ministry, always giving, always helping. Um, the church has a recreation center where people are fed, clothes are given out, GED programs are there, learning how to, work on a computer, learning how to apply for a job on a computer. So this is just, it's almost as natural as breathing. I don't know how anyone can exist and not be a part of the community.
Well,
It's
I'm
a commandment.
I'm with you there, and my upbringing and background was somewhat the same. And to me, it's family and then community. And I see also that you're very much involved in team building and leadership, and that you're working with young people too as well, right? Within the church.
Yes.
Tell us a little
Mm-hmm.
bit about what you're doing there and how you came to get involved with leadership and through your speaking and all of that.
Again, leadership goes back to my family. Always been in leadership positions. My mother, my dad, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, all of them have always been dynamic leaders. And so by default, by blood, by legacy, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice.
And
I didn't have a choice.
I love that because this is what we have to pass on to our younger generation. And it's so needed now because of technology. Somehow that's being put a little too far on the back burner. One of the things that you do also that I know, and I spoke to the other night, and it ties in a way with this, but this is going to be jumping from one extreme to the other. I know that you love and you do jewelry. How did you get into jewelry making? Because that's one of the things that I love. Vanity is healthy here. It's not bad. And by the way, before you say anything, Roz, let me say welcome to all of these beautiful people out here in the audience. Thank you so much for showing up. We're always
Yes.
delighted, and you are always welcome here, and it warms our hearts to see you here. But Roz, jewelry is one of my little, what can I say? So when I found out that you did that as well, I said, she is a Renaissance woman. So how did you come to the jewelry?
I have a friend of mine that makes jewelry. And so she decided to start teaching classes. So I said, well, I'm going to get into the class. And I just wanted to get in it to see how it was done. Well, as they said, the story, a few days later, I went to a jewelry show, a jewelry show where they had beads and hundreds and thousands and millions of beads. And I walked through there and I lost my mind. And ever since then, I have been, it was like going to the shoe store for me, or going to a purse store. I don't want to call out my favorite purse store, but like going to a purse store.
Roz, they say, a friend of mine says, the harder you laugh, the truer it is. And so I understand that when you said you lost your mind, because it can happen very easily when it comes to jewelry. It's one of my pet peeves. So I do get it. No worries there. Let's jump back to the reality of what you do. And before we say so long for now, tell us, you said you fell into it, the healthcare and looking after and taking care and all of that that's involved. Why do you love it so much? What drew you to it? What kept you there? And why do you continue with it?
I continue there because I know Superwoman is a myth. It's a myth. This song, and most of us here may know it. I'm Every Woman by Shaka Khan.
Yes.
And Whitney Houston and all of them. Mm-hmm. That song worked for them. but in harsh reality, I'm Every Woman. We need help. We need help. And I love coming in and helping those who are taking care of their loved ones realize that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get a caregiver like me in my company. It's okay because you can't do it all.
Yes.
Shaka Khan, it was a beautiful song, but it's in harsh reality, we can't do it all. I can't be every woman everywhere all the time, 24/7. It is impossible if you still want to be above ground.
Roz, I'm so delighted that we're connected and we know each other, because one of the reasons that I label this show Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies, Living Legacies relates and connects to exactly everything that you just said. Because I love Hollywood and the movies, but that's not the real world. They're leading ladies. They're not us. We are our own leading ladies. We are real. Not that they're not. They're beautiful. They give us so much. But when it comes to living our lives, and you mentioned the song, Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan.
Yes. It's a beautiful song and it sounds great, but we all need help. We all need support. We all need to be inspired and motivated. And we need women like you and all the women in the audience and the guys as well, who share their stories, tell what they're doing, why they're doing it, so that they can inspire and motivate others. That's the bottom line. We are all about motivating, inspiring, and you can only do that when you are authentic and real in the real world, not the other world. And I love the way you expressed that. You said, what did you say? We need help. Yes, we all do need help.
Again, where I am weak, you are strong, and where you are strong, I am weak. We can't be a solo act. It's about community. Even in Africa, it said it takes a what? It takes a tribe.
A village to raise, yes.
A village, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. But that's what it winds up being, a tribe. One of my many, many mentors was Maya Angelou, and I remember vividly her saying that what you spoke to earlier, Roz, we need to always align ourselves with people who are a little bit smarter than us or doing something totally different from us that we want to do, because that's the only way we're going to elevate and rise. And we're here to rise. We're not here to be a dime a dozen and just exist. We're here to elevate, learn, master our crafts, our skills, and then to share and give them away, whatever it is. So I love all of the things that you're about and what you're doing. And
Thank
the
you.
reason that you're so involved with your community and all of that, I think it's phenomenal. You're up there in Jacksonville, which is not far away, and at some point in time we'll connect in the way that we met. Is there anything last thing that you want to leave us with? Do you have anything in the hopper that's coming up soon that you want people, because the majority of people, as you well know, Ross, will be watching the replay, but all of your data and all of your information will go up there. Is there anything that you want to leave our audience with, that you want to share with them, or to let them know about something that you'll be doing in the near future?
I have a book coming out that's called Honor Your Wishes, Respect My Journey, Who Speaks for Me? And it's a book on caregiving, how to take care of your loved one as well as yourself as the aging process continues. What do you have to do? And I have a great free gift for them. It's a checklist and a free chapter of the book. Yes. And it's at bit.ly/ Who Speaks for Me 2018.
Beautiful ending, Ross. Did you give me that link so that the people who click on it after the fact will be able to get that? Did you?
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know. I have it here. I'll make sure that it goes. And when is the book coming out?
The book's coming out Black Friday for 2018.
Ah,
Yes. And so I will be also be giving out a free copy of the book. It'll be an ebook, free ebook. And the hard copy will come out on Black Friday, but the ebook, if you sign up on that link, I will be able to send you the link for the free ebook.
I love it. I love it. What we'll do is this then: when you get a chance after
Mhm.
the show, I'm going to put you to the side for just a moment, and I thank you from the bottom of
Okay.
my heart. You'll give me all of
Thank
that
you.
information, and I'll make sure it goes on. The pleasure was all mine. Go into our
Oh,
lovely green room and just sit there for a moment while I say goodbye, and I'll be with you really, really, very, very soon. All righty.
okay.
Let me just say thank you, Ross. You know, the beauty of life is when you meet people that you just automatically have a connection with, and they are more or less maybe on a different path, but connection at the end will be the same, inspiring, motivating, enlightening others. And that's what Roz is about. When I first met her and I heard her give her speech, and then in turn got to know her via Facebook, all the wonderful things that she's doing, I wanted you to meet her. And I'm so glad that you had the chance. Time flies, and there's so much more that she's going to share with you. But my friend, be aware that all of her links and all of her data that she just shared for her book that will be coming out and for the free gift, all of that will be put on the video so that you will be able to click and to get it. In the meantime, need I say to you always, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful when I see you show up, because I know how busy we all are. Some people don't like that word busy, but we're busy. Everyone's busy. So when you show, even if you pop in, we're grateful and we're thankful. So wherever you are, bear in mind and know that it's always good to see you here. Be well and take care. Have a fabulous week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday night at 7 and Wednesday night at 7. Until the next time, all the best. Be and stay well. So long for now. Cheers.